Pitch BrandTalk, where insights meet innovation in the world of brands. And today I have with me the Chief Marketing Officer of Magicbricks, Mr. Prasun Kumar, and I'm happy to understand what he's doing in his sector, what's more coming from Magicbricks, and I'm really excited to have this conversation with you, Mr. Kumar. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Ritika. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Likewise. And we were just behind the scenes, we were talking about how you were at Magic Bricks before, then you went to tech and telecom, you were at Just Dial, and then again it's homecoming for you to Magic Bricks. So, what makes real estate marketing truly different from, say, an FMCG or a B2C digital category, and how has that been for you?
Well, consumer tech is a space that I have been operating in for past almost 10 years now. And Magicbricks and Just Dial are two brands that I have worked in consumer tech space. If you really ask me what is truly different between a normal FMCG or typical B2C category marketing and what a consumer tech platform like Magicbricks does, and especially in the real estate category. See, consumer tech, both Just Dial as well as Magicbricks assignments. Uh, in both the assignments, there was both B2B and B2C marketing involved, right? So
Right.
the dual marketing that happens on the B2B side, there is a supply acquisition marketing that happens, and B2C marketing, of course, is all about demand, traffics, and leads, and so on and so forth. So from that point of view, it's not very different from what a typical B2C marketing would be or could be.
Right. Right.
Uh, and B2C marketing in consumer tech platforms like us are much larger than the B2B side of it. To that extent, there's no difference. However, the one critical difference, if one has to see, is that there's no fulfillment that happens on the platform, and therefore that piece is slightly different. Real estate, you asked me, real estate marketing has some peculiarities as against other categories. First of all, it's a high involvement purchase category. It's not impulse purchase, and in a high involvement purchase
Yes.
category, the entire approach to reaching out to consumers and priming the consumers are very different. The gestation period is far longer in real estate. There's a longer sales
Right.
that is there, which
Right.
which ranges from discovery and search to research and beyond. And this period is quite long and extensive.
Mm-hmm.
Real estate marketing also is pretty local stroke hyper local in nature in terms
Right.
of targeting, because real estate is not one single market. Unlike in FMCG or in a lot of other categories, India is almost one single market that you can target from a marketing point of view. In real estate, every city is a separate real estate ecosystem by itself with different
Right.
brands, right? So even the players' brands are different. So the developer brands that you find in Mumbai are not there in Delhi, and who are not there in Kolkata, and so on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that peculiarity of a very regional nature or of a very city nature of the industry also makes it very peculiar and very different from what a lot of other categories are. It also is different from the point of view that the online and the offline aspect of marketing are
Mm-hmm.
still playing a very premium or a very important role in real estate. So a lot of other categories where a whole lot of consumer experiences or the entire purchase proposition can be driven online itself. In real estate,
Right.
online and offline play often go together. So it's
Hmm.
not an omni-channel strategy, but an omni-channel strategy that one have to adapt really in real estate. So that's
Right.
the thing which is different. And being a very high involvement category,
Hmm.
also extremely highly emotive category. Uh,
Hmm.
Investing in your first home, for example, and is an extremely emotive decision at some.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the pitch also is extremely emotional from a marketing point of view, rather than
Hmm.
functional, which could be there in a lot of other categories as well. So these are some
Right.
similarities of real estate that make it different from a lot of other categories. But otherwise,
Right.
the fundamental principles of marketing that apply everywhere else do apply here as well.
Yeah, I'm sure about that. But you really talked about what some of the peculiar differences are. What stood out for me was that home buying is not an impulsive decision. It's a thought out decision. Probably it's also a once in a lifetime decision for many. So then, how does Magic Brick sort of approach trust building differently? Because I'm sure there's competition and it's a high involvement purchase, like you said. So how do you approach trust building in that case?
Well, trust is an essential ingredient of real estate proposition.
Hmm.
Okay, and there are multiple ways in which one works on that. So as a platform, we work at multiple levels. One is, I do think, usage of technology brings a lot of trust in the entire
Hmm.
process, because it also brings a lot of transparency in the system, and that helps in building trust. So we
Hmm.
do it at different levels at Magic Bricks. One is we are building ourselves as a full stack end-to-end solutions platform for both buyers and
Hmm.
sellers. So that means
Right.
that a buyer stays with us not only for the period of search and discovery, but it
Hmm.
stays beyond that, much beyond that. And we are looking
Right.
at multiple solutions for buyers for that. So apart from search and discovery, there's a lot of research that one can do. We provide a lot of tools to home buyers for variety of needs. For example, we have a tool called PropWorth, where you can estimate the price of a property by just almost press of a button. It's an app. We provide site visit services, which is a
Hmm.
physical service, offline service in nature. We are in home loans business. We are in home interiors business. So we are building ourselves as a complete end-to-end full stack uh, uh, platform in the space, which is
Hmm.
not only about property discovery or property purchase, but beyond that as well. So that's one part. On the seller side, similarly, apart from providing lead solutions, we also site visit is something that I spoke about, that we provide them.
Yeah.
Also provide a lot of tech-driven solutions like CRM solutions, a lot of visualization solutions, research solutions, a lot of AI.
Right.
So a lot of these things go a long way in building that trust. Aside to that,
Hmm.
also ensure that all the information that is available on our platform is accurate information, is verified information, and we use a whole lot of processes to do that, including using of artificial intelligence. We also have
Right.
where we assign dedicated relationship managers, so that one
Hmm.
connection with a brand representative also goes a long way in building that trust. And besides that, we also use a lot of technology, as I mentioned, a lot of
Yeah.
AI tools. Of late, we have been
Hmm.
we provide virtual walkthrough, 3D model solutions. As I spoke, we provide a lot of price estimators, ROI calculators, bank recommendation engine for our home loan business. So a whole lot of these things come together to really build that trust in the marketing approach that you're talking.
Right. Right. And also, when you're talking about the marketing approach, you also mentioned that it's an emotional category. Home buying is essentially an emotional decision. But then also, what I have observed is usually the storytelling around is also very emotive when it comes to real estate sector. So then, in that case, how do you balance your performance marketing exercises along with emotional storytelling in this space?
Well, both have two distinct roles to play.
Right.
Performance marketing largely is to drive action on
Hmm.
messaging, and it's primarily done for customer acquisition and retention activities. Whereas storytelling and usage of storytelling in brand marketing, typically, say for example, or in social media marketing, is important to drive consideration. And so both have a different role to play. However, they, as far as storytelling is concerned, they kind of come together. See,
Hmm.
storytelling is integral to all kinds of marketing.
Yeah.
Whether it's performance or so-called non-performance. I do consider brand marketing also as a performance marketing channel anyways. But
Right.
storytelling is something which is integral everywhere across. Typically it's associated with brand marketing campaigns or brand marketing propositions. But even in performance marketing, today, unless you have a very impactful way of telling your story in 3 seconds, it's
Hmm.
difficult for you to solicit any click
Hmm.
from a user, right? So that's a different kind of storytelling, but it's storytelling nonetheless, right?
Right.
And with attention span challenges, with fragmentation going wherever it is going, it is very important that you tell a good story, because that's the only way to hold the attention of a consumer today. And
Right.
it's in a way, this digital fragmentation is also leading us back to the fundamentals of marketing, where storytelling used to be the king of, or the content used to be the king, and we are
Right.
that direction. And if you really look at some of the insights that we capture, if you really look at some of the feedbacks that we get, it's all about the various stories that we have been telling and the reaction to those stories. So story
Right.
remains integral, fundamental to marketing, and will continue to be so, more so in real estate, because here you are looking at an extremely high ticket purchase category, extremely high involvement category, very emotive category, a category where generally the payoff is for the family and not for an individual. So there are a whole lot of things that come together to make this category very
Mm-hmm.
unique storytelling point of view. And therefore you see every pitch, whether it's by any player of the ecosystem, whether it's developers, whether it's platforms like us, or any other player in
Yeah.
the pitch, always very emotive.
Yes, that is true. That is true. And while we are also talking about your marketing approach, I would also like to understand the kind of consumer shift that you're noticing in how millennials and Gen Z now approach property buying, because I'm sure that is different from the earlier generation. So then, how is Magic Bricks also adapting its communication for them also? Because I'm sure personalization is also a big part of your approach.
Yes, for sure. And millennials and Gen Z now driving consumption story is across categories. And
Hmm.
millennials for sure are the prime consumers today for every single category. And Gen Z is almost entering a lot of categories, like real estate, say, for example.
Yeah.
This is different, and it is different in many ways. First
Hmm.
of all, if you specifically talk of millennials and Gen Z, uh, digital and digital experiences are the first differentiator vis-a-vis any other consumer cohort that you'll talk about. Millennials are the ones who adapted to digital ecosystem, and Gen Z are the ones who were born in a digital ecosystem. So
Right.
both these cohorts look at a lot of solutions digitally. They want digital to solve a lot of problems for them. They want digital to
Hmm.
a lot of experiences to them, rich experiences to them, and that is what they seek. So digital first approach is something which is very different in marketing when it comes to targeting millennials and Gen Z. Uh, they,
Right.
their approach to really brands, in most of the cases, especially for Gen Z, and in lot many cases for late millennials as well, the first discovery of a brand is always digital, right? Whether it's
Hmm.
happening on social media platforms, or whether it's happening through friend chat groups, or whether it's happening
Right.
anywhere, it's essentially digital first discovery that is happening of brands. So therefore
Right.
it's fundamentally important for brands to be digital first in their approach. So that's
Hmm.
one difference from a marketing comms point of view. The second is this generation is extremely clear about their requirements, right? They are born in choices, and they are not confused because of choices. There was a
Hmm.
generation which was probably early millennials, or Gen Y before that, where
Yes.
choices were often confusing, and
Hmm.
led to a lot of confusion in the mind of the consumer. For late millennials and Gen Z, choices or options is something that they're born in, and therefore it's not confusing at all, and hence they're very clear about what
Right.
are. And brands have to be extremely sharp to really understand what they really want, because they are also a generation who do not want to waste their time. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of fragmentation, attention span related issues. There are a whole lot of those challenges as well. And so therefore, the better you understand your consumer and the requirement of the consumer, and the faster you come to the point with them, the better it is. And so that's another
Right.
difference when you are marketing to millennials and Gen Z. And then there are certain points which are related to real estate as a category, where
Hmm.
if you typically see, we have done recently did a consumer sentiment index survey, and this is a research report that we periodically come out with. And there we figured out that the interest of Gen Z and millennials in property investment is highest among
Hmm.
any kind of consumer cohorts. Now,
Right.
the interesting part there is that this interest is not because they see a property investment as, emotively as a home that you're buying and so on. That's there. For them, property investment is another investment opportunity in their portfolio. Uh,
Hmm.
Gen Z especially, and millennials for sure, have been avid investors, and they have been
Right.
all kind of investments, including stock market investments, including investments in even next gen solutions like bitcoins, etc., and lot many more. Real estate for them is another investment opportunity, and that's how they see it. And
Hmm.
therefore, that's a very, very important development that is happening, and
Right.
which will impact marketing of real estate as well. According to the research that we had done, they are looking for at properties for investments and not just inheritance, which means most of them are also looking at a certain price range to invest in, so that their return on investment is very high. They're also their wait period for ROI from an investment is far higher than any other.
Hmm.
So there are some of these peculiarities that came out of this research, which tells me that marketing to Gen Z and millennials is going to be slightly different from any other cohort as far as real estate marketing is concerned.
Right, right. So, I mean, my key takeaway was they are more clear in what they want, very
Yeah.
digitally driven. The discovery happens digitally. In fact, the whole funnel is digital for them. And they look at home buying as an investment and not as an emotional decision as much. Is my
Yeah.
key three takeaways. But then we also talked about how, decisions for Gen Z and millennials and the whole funnel is actually digitally driven for them. So if you had to take me through the whole like a full funnel experience digitally of from discovery say to the decision of how it works out, because real estate was once thought of as a very offline heavy category, but that's not the case anymore. So if
Mm.
I was a consumer and I discovered a property on Magic Bricks today and I made the purchase decision, so the
Mm.
whole digital funnel, if you could walk me through it would be great.
Sure. So there are three steps in which I'll walk you through this. See,
Mm-hmm.
the first step is the search and discovery step, right? Uh,
Right.
the entire discovery of a property today almost happens online, uh,
Yeah.
and through various channels of online discovery.
Hmm.
And so aggregating supply and is very, very important. And the since that is the first discovery that is happening, and that is happening digitally, it's also very important to provide accurate information. It's very also important to provide rich information, good images, videos, reviews as much as possible, so that you create that good first impression about your project, your property, when the
Hmm.
discovery is happening, right? So
Right.
their journey, they seek all of that. When they are
Hmm.
on the platform, they're seeking deeper experiences. Uh,
Hmm.
they want immersive videos to take them through
Hmm.
the property and so on and so forth. So that's one part of that. The second step is to therefore really provide them meaningful tools and products and services which can help them, assist them in arriving at a right decision, well-informed, meaningful decision. And so they also use a lot of tools which are available online. There are tools, for example, property price estimation tool. Now, price discovery is one of the most important aspects of investments in real estate, because you just do not know what is the right investment or what is the right price to pay, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Discovery is important. Now, using data and using various analyticals and AI tools, there we have a solution called PropWorth, which allows them to discover the price of a property.
Okay.
They also seek solutions on uh, how does the entire financing journey works out for them over a period of time. So EMI calculators, ROI calculators, there are a whole lot of these tools which are there available, and they seek to use a lot of these services and tools to really take a very, very well thought through, meaningful, calculated decision. So that's the second part of that. Now,
Right.
once they have looked at all of this, then to help them shortlist and arrive at a meaningful consideration. There are online, there's an online journey plan for that, where they can shortlist, they can compare projects, they can compare localities, they can get to see different aspects, different kind of information. For example, we understood a very, very peculiar need, which is to invest in, say, for example, newly launched projects. Now, in a newly launched projects, there are various things that you look forward to. So we integrated a lot of things. We integrated radar information, so that a user who's looking at investing in a project which is yet to be built or construction to be started, just launched, you get all possible information to be secure and safe about your decision, right? So
Right.
a lot of these things are part of the decision. And then you move down funnel, where they would wish to therefore physically experience the product, physically visit the site, and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we have built site visit services where you can, we manage everything end to end, including providing you a car to go to a site visit, do a site visit, and come back, and so on and so forth. We have a relationship manager
Right.
repeatedly servicing you for all of these requirements. So this entire journey, this entire funnel is now happening digitally, is delivering a far more seamless experience and frictionless
Right.
experience to them, as one can. And therefore, a lot of hardships that were there earlier, because part of the category was offline, part of the category was online, and so on and so forth, where a consumer or a user had to spend a lot of time, energy, resources in going through a lot of offline processes. We are trying to ease a lot of that using technology, and bring a lot of seamless service in place for them. So this is how in some of these journeys changing through full stack service ecosystem that we are building using artificial intelligence and AI driven search and personalized solutions, which gives them absolutely accurate information, as well as looks at their intent and their need, and provides them the right recommendation that they should be considering, and the other tools and everything else that I have spoken about. So a lot of these things are now providing them this seamless online experience that I was talking about.
That's very interesting, actually. And we talked about this cohort where we talked about Gen Zs and millennials. Another cohort, or say a region, geographical demographic that I'd like to talk about is tier two and tier three markets. They are emerging as hot markets today. So, how important does regional content or say regionally relevant micro influencers become in your strategy to connect with audiences in these areas?
See, as I mentioned, real estate is a local business, and
Yes.
there's no pan India, not much of a pan India story over there.
Yeah.
So since this is a local industry, every city, every market, the dynamics are different, and
Mm-hmm.
hence a marketeer has to think hyper local today. Okay, and therefore even regional does not suffice, right? So it's not about a west region or a south region. In west, there the Pune market is very different from a Mumbai market, which is very different from an Ahmedabad market, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So your approach has to be absolutely city specific, very, very hyper regional in nature. And
Okay.
because we are a multilingual country, we are a diverse society. that diversity has to reflect in your
Hmm.
approach as well. So it's not only the language of communication, which of course, the language of marketing communication in Chennai is very different from what is there in Delhi NCR, which is very different from how you do it in Mumbai and so on and so forth.
Right.
So that bit of regionalization and that bit of localization from a language, etc., point of view is expected. But this goes beyond that, and
Hmm.
there are local nuances, the local heritage, the legacy, the beliefs. A lot of these things also come into play when you're looking at marketing solutions or marcom solutions for real estate. To that extent, in that context, you also therefore look at a strategy where you align with local mm, influencers or local stars, to say so, local faces, to say so, because they
Yeah.
will cut through, they will have, they will provide far more engagement to the brand as against
Hmm.
a national faces as such. So
Right.
these local solutions, regional solutions come into play when you're looking at how do you therefore approach a consumer in a Chennai vis-a-vis a Mumbai vis-a-vis a Kolkata.
Correct. So essentially, real estate is a category where you have to break it down into different segments, and it cannot be done in, say, a one go, one size fits all approach, basically, right?
Yes, and technology is something that is a unifying force, and
Right.
that is making it possible that today it's far easier for a marketeer to play a hyper local or hyper regional strategy because
Yeah.
technology can help you deliver that as against
Yes.
what it was 20 years ago.
Yes, I'm sure. And especially with AI and, virtual assistants, voice assistants coming in picture, I'm sure that's much more easier to deliver that.
Correct.
And then when we talk about real estate, it's a high ticket category. So I'm sure, I mean, conversion and sales is one aspect of it. But other than, beyond impressions and clicks, how do you measure your marketing success, when you're running a campaign or you are probably, starting, say, an activation or anything like that. So then how do you actually measure your success beyond impressions and clicks?
Well, impressions and clicks are passe, isn't it? They are what we call vanilla metrics. Now, in the age of digitization and as deep digital integration that is there, and with advent of all kinds of martech and ad tech solutions which are around, impressions and clicks are a very dinosauric metric to today talk about. If
Right.
you ask me, specifically talking about real estate as a category and or consumer internet as a category where we operate, see, we marketing today is much closer to the conversion funnel, the sales,
Hmm.
than ever before.
Right.
Because of, as I said, multiple martech and adtech solutions which are available today. Every
Mm-hmm.
brand today is building first-party database. Every brand is sitting on a huge consumer database of its own, and then there are secondary and tertiary databases which are available. So outreach to consumer, engagement with consumer, and impacting the purchase journey of the consumer is something which is extremely data driven and very, very scientific now. Um, Specifically talking about our approach, the kind of metrics that we look at in the upper funnel side, we look at traffic sessions as metric. How many consumers have actually come to the platform or downloaded the app and interacted with the app after watching a particular marketing input, say an ad or any other input that marketing has given. In the mid funnel area, we track a lot of engagement metrics, like
Hmm.
the time spent of a consumer who has come to the platform or who has come to the app, how much time the consumer is spending over there, what are different sections the consumer is browsing, what are the different pages that the consumer is going to. That also gives
Right.
sense of what is the requirement of the consumer, and a certain behavioral pattern of search and so on and so forth. We also very, very closely track what is the repeat visit of a consumer. If a consumer has come once, when did the consumer come last, what was the consumer searching last or looking at last, or trying to find out last, and can we therefore start the journey from there and add value from there on, and so on and so forth. So there's a continuity in the journey of the customer.
Right.
That's on the mid funnel side. On the down funnel metrics, we look at customer acquisition costs, we look at lead maturity, we look at click to site visits, which is like click to conversion metrics. So there are various kinds of metric today that you track in marketing. And till you mentioned it to me, impressions and clicks is something I had forgotten about. Literally, I have not discussed over last 6 months anyway.
Right, right. So it's the era of MarTech, and we are using all the tools in the arsenals to get that lead and get that conversion that we are aiming for. But then again, I also want to understand, according to you, what is your vision for the truly next generation customer experience when it comes to real estate and buying property online?
Hmm. Well, we discussed about Gen Z and millennials, and keeping Gen Z in mind, because Gen Z would now be in their early 30s, or becoming 30s, and they are going to be the first entrant in the property market now. They might be investing in their first property anytime soon, over next 3 to 5 years, and so on and so forth. Keeping that audience cohort in mind, I think some of the changes that are going to come, and the things that are going to drive those changes will be as follows. I think first would be the entire advent of AI.
Right.
We are entering a very different arena now, and a very different era now. The disruption of AI would be far bigger than the disruption of digital itself that came 15 years ago. And this is going to impact marketing in ways more than one. So advent of AI will ensure far richer information. It will ensure immersive content available. It will ensure experiential journey for the consumer. So everything that a marketer used to dream of, or can dream of potentially, is something that will happen because of advent of AI. I think the second big change that is going to come, the shift that is going to come, is entry of Gen Z itself in the category, which would mean that fundamentally the way you are looking at marketing, how do you cater this consumer, is going to be very, very different. So that's the second big change that is going to happen. Third, I think, is increasingly now consumers, including Gen Z, will look for full stack solutions. They do not go to 15 different places to search for 50 different pieces of information, all to go through multiple steps, because that breaks their experience. They would want one seamless end-to-end full stack experience, and I think that's the future of real estate marketing. And I spoke about how we have been kind of building that as well. And seamlessness, transparency, and enrichment of the journey is something that will become standard. So these are, I think, some of the changes that will come over the next few years as far as marketing is concerned, especially real estate marketing.
Right. Quick rapid questions for you, or rapid fire questions for you. What is your key priority as a marketer today in the AI era?
To deliver immersive, engaging experiences.
And one marketing mantra that you live by?
Always follow the consumer.